Okay, you all, I am live, but make sure this volume is up. I'm live streaming. You all have to come in and help me out. Those who get the notification because I'm not on my regular desktop, so the camera quality may not be as good. I'm not sure how the sound is, so let me know if you all can hear me well, right, and see me as good as the viewing we get. Come in and say hello. Hit the like button, right? Do our normal thing that we do, and let me know how the sound is coming across because I am wearing my uh, AirPods, so I don't have my mic, my gold microphone in front of me. As I see some people coming in, I have something I really, really want to share with you all. So let me try to get this going, and let me do a sound check and split my screens. I was having a conversation with someone, right? Having a conversation with someone, and I really want to emphasize this point. So give me a second. Let me change this account. Again, you all that's coming in. I know it's a little early on my side, on Central Standard Time when I live stream. Good afternoon to you as well. So it's a little early, but I may not have the opportunity to live stream any other time today. And I didn't want to miss this teachable moment. So some people may catch the replay, right? And that's fine as well. And I know it's like 10:30 Central Standard Time. And again, the video quality is just that I'm not on my normal desktop with my camera and my microphone quality that I normally would have, but nonetheless, right, we're here. So let's discuss the topic. You all come in, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, invite more people in. Again, some people are saying good afternoon, maybe afternoon in your time. So I have the lighting as well as I can get it. And but I want you to hear the message. So give me some thumbs up. I only see like 2 thumbs up. For every thumbs up that you all do or share, right? You have the power. Every one person that hits a thumbs up on this live stream, you have the power to invite at least 10 to 20 people of your followers or your subscribers, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, into the live stream. So use your power, right? Use your superpowers. And if you're watching this on the replay, hit the likes up as well and share the message. So we have Selena in. Good morning to you, Selena. How is the sound? Is it okay? Trying to have it at my maximum volume. So we do have 50 people coming in on this Sunday morning. So before I get into this, let me know if you can hear me well, if everything is good. So the first thing I want to share with you all, let me pull this up, is this message, right, that I actually heard on Instagram by Dr. Fred. Okay, thank you. She said the hearing is pretty well. Let me cut this fan off in the background. That may help the hearing volume just a little bit. And so I listened to this. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that I got this as high as it is. All right, so Eastern Standard Time is for you, so that's great. I'm on Eastern Standard Time right now at the time of this recording. So I came across this clip, right? This video last night of Dr. Frederick Casey Price, right? I came across this clip of the late, great Dr. Fred Casey Price. I don't know if you all ever subscribed to him, ever listened to him, right? Church family out of California. I've followed him for years. I think he passed away last year, but he is a legend in the Black and brown community and the underserved community. And so I want to share this clip with you all. I posted on my Facebook, right? And I want to share this with you all, and we're going to elaborate on this. So again, let me know, please. I want to share it. Let me see if I can. Again, I'm on my laptop, so I'm trying to figure everything out. If you can hear that audio, right? If you can hear that audio, and I have my phone here. So let me subscribe to my phone, and it will let me know if I can hear it as well on my phone. So let's listen in. Let's chime in, right?
They killed Abraham Lincoln. And your next president that came up vetoed the idea, and we were emancipated with nothing. But over the holidays, I had an opportunity to put it into operation. I think everybody in America knows about the game called Monopoly. Anybody ever play Monopoly? Raise your hand. Well, anyway, if you know anything about Monopoly, every player starts out with $1,500. Well, I wanted to play the advocate, the black advocate. So we played Monopoly the other night, and I didn't take any money. I wanted to take the place of the slaves that were emancipated in 1865, who did not get the 40 acres or the mule. And so I took nothing. Now, I survived for a few times around the board, but I couldn't buy nothing. And it was very soon I was out of the game. Now, you would say that that is unfair to have somebody sit down at a table and play Monopoly and not give them the $1,500 to start with. But that's what this country did with our people when they emancipated us. And then have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to wonder why we don't do better. And you started out with $1,500 and we started out with nothing. And they know that if we ever let these black people get equality, that they will take over. They will be on the top of everything. And watch this, watch this. Every place they have let us in, we rose to the top.
So wow, I thought that was powerful and worth sharing, right? All of you all, or a lot of you all, hello, TD Freelancer, right? Hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being a new follower. Glad to have you here in the Credit, Crypto, and Cash Flow classroom, right? Those are the three topics of discussion that I speak on, or I educate on. I motivate and I inspire people, right? Educate, motivate, and inspiration is what I do. Now, a lot of people suggest that motivation and inspiration is not needed, right? That you have to move beyond that. But however, my philosophy is that once motivation and inspiration is combined with education, right? Not only does that inspire people to move forward, but it also assists them and help them move forward in a very educated and strategic and knowledgeable manner. So I had to share this clip with you all. It was very profound because, again, you have to know how to use and strategize and utilize credit in a very positive way. There are many people who are so against credit, and I just had a conversation. This is why I wanted to go live. I had a conversation with a lady I just met, very friendly, very educated. She's investing in business, right? The three areas that I believe in, or that I personally invest in, are besides knowledge and education, right? It's definitely real estate, right? Business, right? You know that I'm a part of a home-based business. You know that I have my own personal rental property. I'm acquiring more real estate and building more rental property, new construction as well. But and you also know that I invest in cryptocurrency. But the foundation of those investments started with my journey 2 years ago of educating and becoming a certified credit consultant to help people, right, improve their credit, but also to educate them how to use their credit. So this conversation started with a lady. She was telling me that she's 48 years of age, right? And her mother advised her at an early age to just cut up all of your credit cards, right? My first response to that was, well, she probably was a Dave Ramsey subscriber, or she probably listened or, advised you based off her subscribing to or listening to Dave Ramsey, right? To just cut up your credit cards. So now she's telling me her future goals and dreams is she's engaged for marriage, and she wants to now, with her fiance, soon to be husband, become a home buyer. And at 48 years of age, it looks like she has little to no credit history at all, maybe 2 years, new to the system. So what do you do? And this is why I've been teaching you all that, number one, you never, ever cut up your credit card, right? You never, ever cut up your credit card. And what you do is you utilize credit cards in a very healthy way, and you pay down your balances. You keep those balances, whatever the credit limit is. For example, if it's a $5,000 credit limit, right? You want to keep that balances at least 10 to 20%, right? Anywhere from $500 to $1,000 and lower. You want to pay them on time, right? Preferably on the statement date versus the due date. I haven't taught credit in about a year, so I'm a little rusty. I've been teaching more about crypto, but I felt the need to share the story and teach on credit, right? $500 to $1,000, for example. If it's a $5,000 credit limit, you want to pay it on the statement date. That's why it is so important that you all get an account with Credit Karma, right? I know the clients that enrolled and enlist with me, they probably despise that I just don't put them in a software portal, or I use a system like iCloud, right? And they can just log into their portal and see if their credit scores have changed or if something has been deleted and or updated. No, I teach people the foundational steps, which is to get a Credit Karma account for free, no charge to you, and to get an Experian account for free, no charge to you. This is why. Not only is because that'll have all three bases covered with Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? But you need to be able to log on to Credit Karma, which offers a wealth of knowledge in the credit world, and our Experian, to, number one, see with Experian how many addresses is reporting to your credit report. See, you can't do that with a portal that people just tell you to log in and just check and see if your scores have been updated, right? Experian is the best platform that provides you, especially if you are like military, someone that moves a lot, because a lot of people don't know and they don't understand that having more than one or two addresses reporting on your credit report not only lowers your credit score maybe by 2 to 3 points for every address that's reporting, right? But it does not make you look like a stable lender, right? When the lenders pull your credit report, for example, even if you're military and they've seen that you moved to 7 different locations, or if you're non-military, I had to just delete 30 addresses for one person, right? And they were non-military. This was just a person that moved a lot from apartments to apartments and was very unstable and was getting denied from finances for vehicles simply because this person had too many addresses reporting. And so this person just needed a credit sweep of their addresses. That can cause you denial as well, especially from bigger purchases like vehicles and homes, right? And so you just need a clean credit report that only reports 1 to 2 addresses, right? So this is why I recommend that you understand how to read your credit report, not to be only satisfied. So a lot of people that use these software systems and iClouds, they don't do address deletion, or they don't teach the importance of address deletions. This is just one example that I'm giving. And so you keep those credit cards, right? Because credit cards make up a bulk of your overall, and they play a big part in you being over the 800 credit score, right? So she says, well, how do I add history, right? I asked her, I said, well, do you have any family members that can add you as an authorized user that has great payment history with credit cards? And this is the power of credit cards, because you can only pass generational credit history through credit cards, right? This is why that Dave Ramsey philosophy have a lot of people in the Black and brown community with low 600 credit scores, because they just want to cut them up. They don't want to get educated about it. It's like me telling you that having ownership or possession of a gun is bad. Throw it away. Right? Gun kill people. You don't want to have a gun. Or what about the protective side of a gun when used effectively, when used properly, right? Any misuse of anything will lead to abuse. So you have to be taught the proper way to use them. And she said, well, I told you my mother didn't believe in credit cards. And I don't know if there's anyone in my family or aunt or uncle that I can reach out to. So there was some homework for her. Another thing that I told her in this conversation was she has a young child, a son, and I said, add your son now that you are getting primary credit cards of your own. Add your son to your credit card now as an authorized user, so that when he turns 18, he has years of established credit history. And you be responsible with paying those credit cards, not maxing them out and paying them on a statement day. Another advantage I think I got off of that topic of having credit karma, for example, is that credit karma notifies you of your statement date, not the due date. It's a difference. The due date is the date that you get in the mail because your bank, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Navy Federal, whoever you have your credit cards through, right, will send you a statement with a due date, right, that you agreed to with them when opening that credit card. But the statement date is different than the due date. And if you pay on your credit cards on the statement date versus your due date, this will have you in the high 700s, keep you in the high 700s to the over the 800 credit score range, right? What people don't tell you that have an 800 credit score is they have a long history of established credit. They have a history of established credit, right? Maybe they went to college and at the age of 18, they got a credit card on campus and they kept their credit card in good standing. They paid on time. They were never late, or if they were late, right, they were late maybe once years ago and is no longer reporting. So back to the son, right? So I told her, I said, you can add your, she said, I'm going to wait till he's 13 and I'm going to add him. I said, why would you wait till he's 13? Why can't you add your son now? She said, well, he's 5. I said, you can add him at 5. I said, you can add him at infant age, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It does not matter. Did you all know that? If you knew that, put knew that. If you did not know, comment don't know. Right? If you knew that you can add a child as an authorized user to your credit card as early as infant age, say knew that for the people that's here. I see 348 people in across all of my platforms. Collectively, I'm showing 348. That's adding up Facebook and YouTube as well as Twitter. Angela says she knew that, right? So I got one person that says knew that. So even if you're watching this live on the replay, so you don't have to wait until your child is 13 or whatever. They can be 3 weeks old, 3 months, infant, whatever. Call on your good standing credit cards. You don't want to do this if you have bad credit. And this is the thing. Credit is generational wealth, right? The Bible talks about a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And having good credit is generational wealth habits. Because again, this is why you never want to cut up credit cards, because credit cards is the only credit source that you can add your children or your nieces or your nephews or your grandchildren and help them establish credit at an early age, just by you being responsible with your credit cards and shifting your mindset. So for you all that that are just now tuning in, I played a video clip. If you did not watch that, please go back and watch this video from the beginning of Dr. Frederick K.C. Price, the late great Dr. Fred Price. And in that video, he talks about in that clip that in 1865, right, slaves were set free. The Emancipation Proclamation. The slaves were set free in 1865, right? And a part of that was they were set free, but they were not allowed to use credit or to borrow money. So they were still enslaved to the system. And he gave the analogy of playing Monopoly. You play Monopoly, right? And he said he wanted to play the black advocate in Monopoly. And he allowed the other players to get the $1,500 cash, right? And he started with nothing. No $1,500. The other three players had $1,500 in the game of Monopoly, you know. And he said he made it around the board, maybe 3 trips, right? 3 trips. And about that third trip, he lost the game. He was out of the game. This is why. Because when you don't know how to use cash, cash is nothing but credit. Don't let people fool you. Just because credit cards is plastic and cash is paper, both of them are credit. Both of them are off a credit-based system. Why? Because in 1971, President Nixon then made cash debt and made it credit. He removed it from the gold systems, right? He took it away from being attached to gold. So what other states could have done, for example, is they could have brought cash, right? Because other countries, you can go to other countries and use the US dollar, right? And other countries like Spain, I use Spain, can take US dollars, or could have taken the US dollars until 1971, brought it back to the States, went to a central banks and said, okay, we're bringing the states cash back. We want the physical gold, because gold and silver is real money, right? And by constitution is real money. It's still real money. Constitution has not changed that. This is why banks and central banks hold and hoard gold and silver. So what they did was they kept that from American citizens. They kept that information from the people, and they made people believe that paper cash was real money, not knowing that cash is now no longer affiliated or attached to real money, and it's nothing but a debt-based system. It's nothing but credit, because there's nothing backing it. There's no real money backing it. Just like your credit cards. They give you credit cards. They allow you to use that in the good faith and intentions that you will return the amount you spent. So the government figured, okay, when we get people to use cash, now we can highly tax them. We can make up our own tax laws, and we can make them go to work and labor for this cash at a job. And we can tax them whatever percentage, right? Out of their W-4s, out of their job income. And we can always have them on this cash-based credit system, because the biggest stealer of wealth is taxes. So now we give them paper money that's not an asset, it's a liability because it loses its value because, again, it's detached from gold and silver, which is real money. They don't educate you that gold and silver is real money. You think cash dollars is. And you begin to bring home or work for out of your paycheck 60 to 70% on the dollar, and you give the government 30 cents. And then the government raised the prices every day of your goods and services. That's called inflation. And you give inflation an additional 5%. Then they raise prices on your vehicles and on your houses, and houses prices have increased 20%. So it keeps you in a cycle of not ever having anything that appreciates in value, like gold, silver, land, and real estate. That can be an asset, but they give you cash dollars because it always depreciate in value. I hope I explained it as simple as I could, right? And so then you have Dave Ramsey that comes in and he ties religious with it and says that it is, I guess, unethical to use debt, knowing that cash is debt, knowing that cash is highly taxed. So what do? You leverage credit against credit. You use things like 0% credit cards that has no interest versus the dollar that has about 30% interest in the form of taxes. So you use 0% credit cards. You take out credit to invest in real estate. You take out loans to invest in. Why? Why, Queen? Because debt and loans is not taxed. Listen, even if I had to pay a 10% back on a loan to get an asset like a real estate to the banks, that's better than using the cash that I have to get 30% to in the government. And if you don't think you're taxed, just look at your paycheck, every pay period. I don't care if you live in a tax-free state like Florida or Texas, you still have to pay federal taxes. Taxation is higher than any interest that you can get on any loan for any vehicle or credit cards in most cases. Even if you had an 18% credit card. But this is the thing. Most people do not use credit to get assets. They use it to get liabilities. And that's where they lose in the game of real life monopoly. You go out and use credit to purchase your home. Instead of rental homes, you get residential homes. A house is great, right? I've lived in an apartment. A house is great. It gives you privacy. You don't have to hear the noise of your neighbor that's on top of you, that's under you, that's on the east side of you, like you're boxed in, right? But a house is better. So this is what I did with my house. I took my house and I transitioned my house from a liability to now an asset. And I added a home-based business to it. So now things such as that will live in my house with me, such as my daughter, instead of just giving her an allowance, I set her up a checking account. I pay her through the home-based business I'm affiliated with. Now that becomes tax deductible for me. We go grocery shopping together. Even when she was 6 years old, I did this, right? She has her debit card from the business. She buys her groceries as she wants. I teach her how to swipe and use her debit card. Now there's tax deductions. She was into gymnastics and basketball, extracurricular recreation, right? Now a portion of that is tax deductible, all because I have a home-based business now to my paycheck, right? And those are the strategies that most of the middle class and the poor, the upper middle class and the poor working middle class do not know. I promise you, once you get to a certain income status, 6 figures and higher, your biggest thing that you have to be concerned with is keeping more of the money you make. And some of you are saying, well, Queen, I'm used to getting tax refund, right? Like my mentor always tell me, a refund is just getting your money back again. Re means again, Fund means money. So you give the government out of your paycheck the highest percentage of taxes year round, a 0% interest. They give you no interest on that money, right? And they invest it. And at the end of the year, they give it back to you again with 0% interest after you allow them to hold it for an entire year. Right? Now, some people have some things as CTC, child tax credit, but my thing is, if you qualify for child tax credit, that means you have to have a low enough income, right? The average American has an annual income of 27,000 to 30,000 a year. That's 80 to 90 percentile of Americans' average annual income. Queen Gwen, thank you so much for the 1111 super chat. I want to say something about 1111, the last 5 minutes of this video, so you all want to stay tuned. Thank you so much, Queen Gwen. I pray that comes back to you tenfold return at the lowest amount of $110 or 1,000-fold return, even higher, right? In the same manner in which you gave it, speedily and efficiently, and to all that it involves. So you always know that we always say thank you, thank you, thank you 3 times, right? And the gods of this universe, Elohim, the provider, or El Shaddai, right? So God has more than you all do know. He has more than one name, right? It goes by more than one name. El Shaddai means the provider, or that he's more than enough. Returns that back to you in the same manner in which, in the speediness that you gave it out. That's just the law of the universe of giving is receiving people. The law of the universe is giving is receiving. Did you all know that it's actually illegal to receive and you don't give? Because that leaves an empty space. And when you do that, the laws of the universe works against you. Right? But I won't get into that. The laws of the universe works against you. That's why whenever you go to a financial conference, they require you to pay and register for this information that I'm probably giving to you. And so when you just get the information and you don't register to it or you don't give back to it, then you're actually hustling backwards and the laws of the universe can't be in your favor, right? I used to give people free credit consultations until I learned their principles. Nothing in life is free that's worth having. You'll find out there's no free lunches. I used to do people free credit consultations. And when I did that, the percentage of people that actually signed up for the credit help to improve their credit was under 3%. Now that people have to invest for their same credit consultations, usually 100% of my clients that in making investment in a consultation go on to sign up or enroll for the services and get rewarded and end up having and maintaining good credit. Right. You do know people don't give you all the secret sauce for free, right? So law of reciprocity, so correct, law of reciprocity. This last thing that I want to share with you all, right? The last thing that I want to share with you all, because again, I am on Eastern Standard Time now, but if I was on CTC time, Central Standard Time, I would not eat until noon, and it will be an hour, so I'm live streaming, right? But it is noon now, and East EST time. The last thing I want to share with you all is about this monetary system that's changing. I told you that since 1971, the dollar became debt. It became credit. It was no different than a credit card, except it was paper and it was taxed higher than any credit card interest you can ever get, right? 30-something% to the government. Once you convert cash into assets, you are taxed little or less. One way to do that is to enroll in the home-based business. I'll share that link with you all if you want to look into it for yourself, right? Get 475 business tax deductions, whereas an employee, you only have 9 right now. You're not going to win a war with 9 weapons fighting against an army that has 475. You have 9 people fighting, including yourself in a fight, versus 475. you're not going to win that war. Being that both things are equal and you all have the same weaponry, right? You'll have to have, something like a I don't want to say the word because I don't want my video to get, but you have to have something that can just explode the whole army at one time. But given that both armies have access to the same weapons and weaponry, and it's 475 and you only have 9, you're going to lose every time. That's why you are losing against the government. That's why you're always struggling with your paycheck. That's why you always living paycheck to paycheck, because you don't know how to use credit to get ahead, and you don't know how to get taxed less out of your paycheck. So when you have a credit score that's under 680 and it's not working for you, but it's working against you, and you're getting taxed on average of 30%, means you're bringing home 70 cents on the dollar. That's not even including the insurances that you have deducted out of your paycheck: health insurance, accidental insurance that gets deducted, medical insurance, vision insurance. We haven't even talked about that yet. So now that 70 cents on the dollar now becomes more like 50 cents, right? Then you have FICA, Medicaid, Medicare, right? All of that, you get 50 cents, and then you go out here in the world and you add inflation, with the increased pricing of goods and services, and you don't think in this lifetime that some type of way you're going to have to utilize credit because you're already behind the 8 ball. It's just like Monopoly is designed for you to land on spaces, real estate, business, land, but you can never obtain them. It's designed that you'll live paycheck to paycheck because you can't control when the price of milk increases by 50% at the grocery store. You have no control when the groceries want to increase. You don't, but you do have control over how much money you tell the government, right, to take out of your paycheck through your W-4. You tell the government how much. And when you don't have a business added to that, when you're just an employee, you're fighting a financial battle with 9 weaponries, and the government is coming against you with 475. So you add the 475 to your paycheck so you can fight on an even playing field, in a sense. Gigi's son, thank you for the 999 super chat, the highest spiritual number that there is. I do appreciate your time. I appreciate your gift and your giving as well. And I pray that that be reciprocated back to you in the same speed and efficiency, tenfold return in which you gave it out. Thank you so much. I love cats. Okay, I finally catching you live. I know they're screwing me. Pardon the cat. This is my tiny. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute, though. That's cute. You gotta love that. So the last thing I want to share with you all about this currency system reset, and I will share the link for you to look into the home-based business, because again, if you don't have business tax deductions out of your paycheck or somewhere in your life, you are losing. You're fighting a losing battle. I really love this post on Facebook. My friend guy tagged me in it. All right, let me see if I can blow it up or enlarge it. Again, I'm not on my regular. Okay, my laptop is doing pretty well. This is Jerry DeBose Sr. He posted this in 2018. He says the $5 bill shows the Twin Towers. The $10 bill shows after the planes collided. The $20 bill shows the building collapsing. The $50 bill shows the dust and the smoke. The $100 bill shows a new beginning. The monies are all shaped like airplanes. What a coincidence, right? We're also going to focus on that $100 bill, new beginning. I hope you all know that this is a change of the currency system. This is why I have been educating about crypto. This is where the shift of the dollar system is shifting to globally. So this is the Twin Towers on the $5 bill. You all can see that. All of the bills have to be folded like airplanes to see this. Then you have the planes crashing. You see the smoke in this on a $10 bill, right? The smoke. And again, all of the planes have to be shaped like airplanes. And even on $20 bills, the more of the collapsing of the Twin Towers. And now you have the $50 bill that shows the smoke of the demolished buildings. This was the beginning of the monetary reset. And the more 9/11, the more diminishing of the dollar. The government speaks in code. They tell you what they're going to do, but they tell you in a code manner. So the $50 bill shows the dust. And this is where we are now, people. The $100 bill shows new beginnings. The new beginning, which would be cryptocurrency. So if you are trying to, or you are at a point right now where you say, Queen, I'm just now at the point where I can save cash. Listen, cash is not worth less. It's just worthless. Less. It's not worthless. It's just worth less. That means you lost your purchasing power, right? You've lost your purchasing power. That's a whole hashtag. She said, just an employee. You cannot be just an employee anymore in this game. You cannot. Just like the slaves were freed in 1865, and they were not provided any credit. You cannot be just an employee and do not have business tax deductions and do not know how to use. See, the problem is, this is why Dave Ramsey really tell people to cut their credit cards, because they're irresponsible and uneducated about credit. Right? A lot of them are irresponsible and uneducated about credit. So he just said, look, cut them up instead of teaching. Right? It's easier to give advice than to teach. So instead of teaching and educating, he just said, cut them up. That's the easiest. You got to stop the bleeding. I get it. But you do know you should have if you don't have the self-discipline enough to stop using your credit card once you're trying to make a financial shift in your life, then you'll never get ahead anyway. Right? Go put them in a safe and lock them up and tell somebody else to hold the key. Right? Or even if you cut them up, right? Let's say you do cut them up. Don't close the accounts. But the thing about that, see, when you cut them up, after no usage, after certain amounts a month, and you can't use them, even just to make small transactions like getting gas or groceries, the accounts will close anyway. And now all of that credit history that you could have established. Now, if you have been late on the credit card and it's just damaged, it's probably best to just let it go. If it's a charge off, listen, that's not coming back. Let it go. Dispute the charge off. You have 90-day late payments repeatedly in the last 2 years, right? 120-day late. Repeatedly, you're late. And again, if you didn't come in at the beginning of this, please come in at the beginning. I talked about paying your credit cards on the statement dates versus the due date, and the importance of having free monitoring accounts such as Credit Karma and Experian, so you can know how many addresses you have reporting on file, and through Experian, and then use Credit Karma as well to track when your statement dates versus the due date that you get from your credit card account holders. They will only notify you of the due date, the balance due date, but you need to know the statement date. Paying on the statement date keeps and maintains a higher credit score. You can find that information on Credit Karma. Experian, you can find how many addresses. You only need 1 to 2 addresses. People that have more than that, for every address reporting after 2, you're losing 2 to 3 points for every address reporting. And also, you are also looked upon for as an unstable creditor, especially when you go to try to finance or mortgage or become a home buyer. right? Having a clean credit report with 1 to 2 addresses, with one name. Some of your names are misspelled, your personal information, all of that needs to be gone and deleted. And so that's why when people have systems like iCloud or Identity IQ, and the only thing you do is log in and see if accounts been deleted or updated, that's just a small portion of what you need to have a great overall credit profile. So you're going to have to use these free accounts, and you're going to have to learn to do some things, right? And get out of your comfort box and learn how this credit system works. And not just pay someone to delete some bad accounts, and then 2 or 3 years you're right back in that same hole. Or you still can get denied because you have too many addresses, too many inquiries, or you have too many bad names reporting. Another reason why addresses are address or addresses, whichever way you say it, tomato, is important, because these addresses, especially older addresses, are usually connected to negative accounts. So even if you get a charge off deleted and you lived at 111 Sesame Street 5 years ago, and that's the address that the charge off was made at, having an address still on your profile, credit profile reporting, still provides information of that charge off, whether it's visible or non-visible, showing on your credit report. So you want a clean slate. You want a pretty clean slate. You want one name and preferably one address reporting at all times. Thank you so much, 999, the highest spiritual number that there is, for the 999 super chat. And thank you again, lovely queen. Thank you so much. And you all stick around. I want to share some things with 1111 with you all as well. Those are my spiritual numbers. I talked about the $100 bill showing new beginnings, right? If you all just came in, let me share that again, right? The $100 bills displays new beginnings, new beginnings. And that begins with the number 1. New beginnings on the $100 bill. And then this is from a Facebook post that my friend guy posted me in. The $50 bill shows dust and smoke. The $20 bill shows the building collapsing. The $10 bill shows after the Twin Towers collided, right? The $20 bill shows the building actually collapsing. $50 bill shows the smoke. This is the $20 bill showing the buildings collapsing, right? And this is the $5 bill showing the Twin Towers. So this was a great post. 1, 4 columns in a bank. Transformation. 4 levels, 4 stages of breakthroughs. 1, new beginnings, right? 4 levels. I told you all in one of my live streams last week, the government loves 1 and 4. 4, all regions of the world, north, south, east, and west. A global new beginning, a global change. The dollar, United States cash, will no longer be the world reserve currency. This is why you must convert your cash into assets, people. Like yesterday. Because our currency system is changing. People don't know that. You still have old financial advice of, and I'm not against having a 6-month savings, right? You had 1 out of 4 Americans that did not have $400, I think, for an emergency savings. I'm not against having emergency savings, but people, not only you have to convert that cash into assets now more than ever. Did you all know, for example, that July 31st, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that if Senate does not approve for a larger budget, we're $28 trillion in debt, United States. And in July 31st, if Senate does not approve either for a larger budget, right, that the United States will not be able to pay their bills, their foreign investors will be bankrupt. She said it's catastrophic. We won't be able to pay our investors. I would ask, if I was an investor, why would you want it? But if they don't increase the debt limit because we're maxed out of debt, and you think it's bad that your credit card is maxed out. United States debt is maxed out. The United States debt level is maxed out, and they're depending on Senate to give them a higher debt threshold to print more money. And the more money they print, the less it's going to be worth. The higher your prices are going to increase. She says catastrophic. Moratoriums, evictions in July, at the end of July. And they said this time, this is the final one. No more extensions. 24 out of 26 states have already stopped or cut off the federal unemployment of $300 a week. But in September, if the other remaining states, that will end. So the only thing that's already approved within the budget to continue until December of this year is child tax credit. And when January 1st comes, guess what's going to happen? People that's been getting the child tax credit up front until December, now they're accustomed to $10,000, $11,000, $10,000 tax returns. You won't see those numbers in January. So now you've gotten that money up front. So now you're $3,600 less than what you would have been. Wow. MJ, thank you so much, MJ, for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much as we have exactly 440 people live with 4 likes. And MJ is coming in with the $20 super chat all across my platforms, including Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. And 4 likes. Thank you so much, Facebook, for the thumbs up and sharing. Thank you so much, MJ. I pray that comes to you expediently and quickly, to all concerned, in the same manner in which you gave it out. In whatever way the guys of the universe want to return that to you, unexpected or expected ways. Yes, 111 equals 4. 111 equals 4. Now, I had been saying I was going to discuss some things about 111. Listen, I had this thought today. I'm listening under my mentor Million this weekend. That's why I'm in his hotel room. And he was talking, and I thought, this is my goal for 111. So 111 goal. One thing that he said too, I want you all to get this. See, I had to pay for this information, but I'm going to transfer to you, is millionaires always subscribe. They don't just take notes in their iPhones or iPad. They always put pen or pencil to paper, because psychologically that helps you achieve your goals faster and remember them longer, right? Not taking notes on an iPhone or iPad. However, I want you, for this live stream, to make a mind message connection, because once you make a mind message connections, then your money can come, right? Once you make a mind message connection, then the money will come. So I want you to put goal 111, GOAL, hashtag 111. I want you to put this in, whether you're watching live or in the replay, as I type in goal of 111. And this is it, right? I want you all to do it with me. Don't just watch me live. You have to subscribe, right? I make a mind message connection. One thing I want you to do is contribute 1 hour. Start with 1 hour of the day listening to something on YouTube, preferably, or a podcast, right? That's teaching you about financial empowerment and education. 1 hour of the day. I've had some people in the past say, listen, I can't listen to your live streams because they're too long. And I get it. I understand. I'm a teacher as well, a girls basketball coach. So I'm in the public schools. They said the people attention spans is about 30 minutes and they lose attention. But you can watch a Netflix for over an hour. You can watch a movie for over an hour. You have just trained yourself that you don't want knowledge in over an hour. So you're gonna have to retrain yourself. So begin, whether you're at the gym walking, you're in your vehicle driving, right? At your leisure, when you're traveling, taking long trips, get your mind set on 1 hour a day of financial education and empowerment. Then take 1 day of the week and do that. Have a day set aside. This is my day that I'm going to apply to what I've been listening to for 1 hour that's leading up to this, the 111 formula. And now I'm going to do this for 1 day of focus. And then in your life, take 1 week of focus for your financial goals, especially if you are married, should be looked at, replanned, and revisited every quarter, in my opinion, but at least once a year. How many times do you sit at the table with your husband or your wife and says, honey, what are our financial goals this year? What assets do we want to attain? If you're single, you need to do it for yourself, right? The Bible says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. You need to, I'm in front of a mirror now. Look in the mirror, get somewhere and say, okay, look, what do you want to do this year? Queen, what do you want to make? How do you want to, what do you want to increase in your real estate portfolio? Right? I'm like this year, I have to plan for some more tax deductions. My income is growing so much. I was almost at the point of having to owe back thousands to the government, and my tax professional was able to. And listen, another thing I want to say, don't ever think you have too many tax deductions. I had someone to tell me this weekend, well, I'm in real estate. I have enough. I don't need to join the home-based business. Yes, you do, because I was in real estate. I was going to owe over $10,000 back. So if it wasn't for my home-based business tax deductions, I wouldn't have gotten that under that $10,000. So when your money grows, so does your liability to Uncle Sam if you don't have these protectors in place. The home-based business gave me an additional $475 tax deduction. And if you want to be rich, you got to be thinking rich already. Your mind has to be thinking, one day I'm going to make so much money, right, that I may have to pay back taxes. So you need to have tax shelters in place. And this is one of the main reasons why I have this home-based business. So 1 week, you need to plan where you want to go financially. Right now, I want to add more real estate in my portfolio moving forward. And then you take out 1 month. 1 month, June is my month, to learn from different people about financial growth, spiritual growth. Let that be set aside for your spiritual growth, your physical growth, your fitness goal as well. You should not have a healthy bank account if you don't have a healthy brain, right? You should not have a healthy bank account if you don't have a healthy brain. Get your health intact. 1 month goal, whether you want to add yoga to your life, meditation health as well, walking outside. There are benefits of going to a gym, but there are many benefits of walking outside on an unequal trail. That's why when you go to the best saunas in the world, they're always going to have an unequal trail, because you need that for your health system, of your equilibrium and your circulation system. Your body, your feet needs to walk on unbalance. That's why treadmills are not the best. You need to do outside exercise when the weather permits. So you know you can't do that in the winter. So you definitely need to implement that in your spring and summer regimen. Don't have a broke brain and a broke bank account as well. Get your spiritual, your intellectual for 1 month. Focus, including your physical, your health plan, and that as well, and your financial plan, right? You owe $40,000 in taxes. So I hope that let me share the home-based business with you. You can get 475 additional tax deductions here. And whether you have an apartment, condo, whatever, you definitely want to have square footage of that. Especially if you're paying rent anyway. So get a square footage of that, your utilities, et cetera, coming back to you that you're spending. See, cash flow is just not about more money flowing to you through assets. Cash flow is also about recuperating some of the money you spend out, coming back to you as well. So this is my website, fixmycreditandcash.com. If you want credit consulting, live life by design, not default, and select here on the More tab, home-based business information. Learn about the 475 tax deductions here. Because I promise you, I don't care how many businesses you need, you're going to need that as well. All right, so I have someone at my door. I'm going to log off right now. Thanks for everyone that gave into the super chats. Let me answer this door. And I'm signing out. So here's your health and your wealth, your peace, your prosperity, your credit, your crypto, and your cash flow. Queen out.